Let us consider how peace is at hand. Are you ready to pay the price? Oopsie. What could that mean? Well, there's only so much time, and there's only so much energy. And we can have peace, or we can have prestige. We can do amazing things and make sure everyone knows we're doing amazing things. Or we can just do amazing things for the simple joy of doing them. Any goal is going to rob our peace. The goal of prestige is going to rob our peace. The goal of helping people so the trick is to help people without a goal. How do we do? See? How do we do that? The flow. The more we flow, the more we train in mindfulness and meditation, the more we will notice that our choices and our utterances and our deeds flow with the effortless effort. By the way, that's the sixfold of the Buddha's eightfold path. They flow with the effortless effort of love's centered spontaneity, which should not be confused with the scattered spontaneity that we might experience after our third consecutive energy drink, but rather the centered spontaneity that is the effortless byproduct of effectively playing with mindfulness and meditation. This is even mentioned, or at least inferred, in the Tao Te Ching composed, or at least attributed to Lao Tzu. We might do great things. If a man of Yang does great things, he makes sure everyone knows he did them. If a man or woman of Yin did great things, then they're not concerned with, their energy doesn't go into self-promotion. They just do the great things. And the people, ignorant of who was behind the scenes pulling the strings, said, oh, look, it happened of its own accord. Which reminds me of this wonderful t-shirt. When I work, nobody knows. When I smoke, everybody knows. And of course, he's talking about the ganja. So this is a wonderful irony here. We can have peace, and we can have joy, or we can have prestige, and we can have power. We cannot have both categories. They are mutually exclusive. And the most efficient way to have the peace we want, and the potent love that we want, and the effortless flow that we want, is to master mindfulness and meditation, which can be done in as little as a week. This concludes our opening lesson. Now let's turn our attention to the primary practice. It is Rey Skywalker Sunday morning. Come, let us meditate like a Jedi after 30 seconds of housekeeping. This is Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. For more than 30 years. I've spent about 8 hours a day, almost every day, studying, practicing, mastering, and reverse engineering the teachings and techniques of each school of meditation so that you would not have to. Welcome, my friends, to Meditate Like a Jedi, which is made possible due to the generosity of viewers just like you. So I think it could be great fun if, together as a team, we chanted a passage from the vast expanse of the diamond-like mind, composed many centuries ago by Prahe Vajra, translated from the Tibetan by Namkai Norbu, translated from the Italian by Adriano Clementi, adapted and amplified by yours truly. Please chant with me. The great elements of the Bhagavan archetype of enlightenment. Transforming a metaphor into a simile. The great elements are like the Bhagavan archetype of enlightenment that exists by nature in all things. However wrongly it may be conceived, liberation originates from oneself and not elsewhere. As that mother from South Park once said, what? So when we say Bhagavan, this is a metaphor for the two truths taught, or at least popularized, by the great South Indian Buddhist saint Nagarjuna. The conventional truth is the way things seem when we breathe in, thanks to our sympathetic nervous system. And the ultimate truth is the way things feel when we relax into our exhalation, care of our parasympathetic nervous system. So let's relate that to our elements. Our wind element could feel dynamic as we breathe in, yet non-graspable as we breathe out. Our earth element could feel solid as we breathe in, yet non-graspable as we breathe out. Our water element could feel moist as we breathe in, yet non-graspable as we breathe out. Our heat element could feel warm as we breathe in, you guessed it, yet far less graspable as we breathe out. Our space element could seem vast as we breathe in, yet non-graspable as we breathe out. What has that to do with the spiritual path? Everything we experience and everything that influences what we experience, the power behind the throne, as Shakespeare once said, can be noticed as we breathe in, but also can be released as we breathe out. So here's the funny thing. There are many elitists who try to make things as difficult as possible. And they say things like, well, I have to understand everything before I can let go of it. No, you don't. We're already wired to let go. Every time we breathe out, our parasympathetic nervous system is wired to support the physical relaxation and mental release necessary to let go, at least fleetingly, at least partially. The only thing that stops it is us. We've been conditioned to be basic minions of rigidity and controlling tendencies. The liberation we seek is not liberation from anything external. It's from our own internal tyranny. Not necessarily the presence of our survival drives, but the dominance those survival drives can exert over our choices and our utterances and our deeds. But every healthy adult has a fully functional sympathetic nervous system, parasympathetic nervous system, and anterior cingulate gyrus is equipped to notice and release and empathize. Every healthy adult is capable of not only practicing the Buddha's Eightfold Path, but mastering it in as little as a week. Oh, look at that. There's... That is weird. Well, let's go back and undo that and see what I did wrong. Okay, here we go. I apparently got confused. Okay, so we turn now to this morning's primary practice text, Buddha's Easy Meditation. Please chant with me. In our compassion may we long to free all beings' choices utter... In our compassion may we long to free all beings' choices, utterances, and deeds from being dominated by the survival impulses of hating, craving, and clinging, metaphorically known as the three mental poisons. In our pragmatism, may our liberation of all others be fueled by our reliance on the Buddhas. Example, instructions, and students described by the metaphor of the three wish-fulfilling jewels. We can now chant the synopsis of these 2 pages. May we free all through the 3 jewels. May we free all through the 3 jewels. May we free all through the 3 jewels. Right now, please touch the tip of your left thumb to the tip of your left index finger. Doing so, we could gently invite our real or imagined subtle energies to coalesce at the crown region of our head. As we breathe in, we could silently and mentally, let's try this again, as we silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during our inhalation. Our sympathetic nervous system helps us to vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly notice mind's antics. As we silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease during our exhalation, our parasympathetic nervous system helps us to physically relax and mentally release that which we noticed during our previous inhalation. Together as a team, let us practice right now. Let us touch the tip. So, let us review Bengali crease counting. Over the span of 12 inhalations, we could advance our right thumb in the following manner, beginning with our little finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. When we multiply this by 4 sets, we get 48 inhalations. We could keep track of those 4 sets on our left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of 12 inhalations each. Let us guide our energy by touching the tip of resting the great knuckle at the base of our right index finger upon the tip of our left index finger, palms up in our lap. Let's chant the 5th verse of Prahe Vajra's vast expanse of the diamond-like mind. The wisdom of greatness is difficult to actively strive to find. It is realized through method and prajna. Though it could be said to depend on something else, real bliss originates from oneself. So, Sturgeon's law reminds us that in 90% of everything sucks. What could that suckiness look like? It looks like being conditioned to be rigid, fearful, superstitious, controlling, elitist, cryptic, competitive, and cruel. When we are rigid and we are controlling, we easily assume that we must focus and analyze. Doing so will exhaust our prefrontal cortex and trigger our amygdala, the seat of anxiety and aggression. So we know this active path ends in tears. Fortunately, there's a passive path. Every time we breathe in, we are already wired, thanks to our sympathetic nervous system, to notice vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly. That's method. Every time we exhale, our parasympathetic nervous system is wired to help us physically relax and mentally release what we noticed during our previous inhalation. That is prajna, or the wisdom of letting go. Though elitists, though those who crave power and prestige would tell you you have to serve a teacher, this founder of Ati Yoga, as we understand it, said no. We are already wired to feel the bliss we desire. The bliss of liberation, the bliss of letting go. The freedom we desire lies within us. And there are many people who don't like this, and so they actively seek to suppress this text and tell people, oh, you need permission to read this text. You need to get permission from people who are benefiting from you not understanding this text, which is kind of messed up if you ask me. Oh, excuse me. We turn our attention now to Mahayoga's wisdom warm-up. Let us begin by exploring an explanation of Shakyamuni's mantra. Shakyamuni is one of the many nicknames for the Buddha. Please chant with me. With whom we invoke the archetype of the Muni, wise one, Maha greatly wise one, Muni, of the Shakya Soha, wishing enlightenment for all. Please chant with me. Rather than indulge or controlling tendencies with the follies of active visualization, emotion, magic, and belief, we could just recite these wise words in harmony with our breathing and allow our subconscious to do the heavy lifting. Let us therefore sidestep the rigidity that confuses metaphors or statements literal, and relax into the flexibility that savors the chance explaining metaphors as similes. Please touch the tip of your left thumb to the tip of your left index finger, thus inviting your subtle energies to coalesce at your crown. All circumstances or lots appearing yet as what is a real or imagined paradise of light. Could be as impermanent and interdependent as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into this body or form. All these words could coalesce into a 6-syllable summary or synopsis. During our inhalation, we could silently and mentally recite the synopsis. During our exhalation, we could do two things. We could physically relax as best we can while striving to chant this 12-syllable mantra 4 times per breath. Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa. Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa. Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa. Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa. Let's touch the tip of our left thumb to the tip of our left ring finger, and then rest this left hand upon our left thigh, thus gently inviting our real or imagined subtle energies to coalesce in the navel region of our mid-abdomen. All bodies or forms sensual, yet is what is a Buddha's real or imagined archetype of light. Oopsie, it looks like there is a display error. Let's see if I can fix that. All bodies or forms sensual, yet is what is a Buddha's real or imagined archetype of light. Could be as impermanent and interdependent as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into this communication or speech. Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesawa. 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 Let us touch the tip of all four fingers to our palm, thus inviting our real or imagined subtle energies to coalesce at the place where we feel a lump in our throat before we cry. All interpersonal communication or speech resounding it as what is a real or imagined mantra of light could be as impermanent and interdependent as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into this mind. Om Mani Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa. Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa. Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa. Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa. Well, good morning. Welcome to the live stream, and I don't want to needlessly confuse you. So let's see what's going on here. We chanted this bit right here. I'm not sure if you were here, so let's chant it again. All interpersonal communication or speech resounding yet as what is a real or imagined mantra of light could be as impermanent and interdependent as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into this mind. So we're taking all these words and we're allowing them to coalesce into a 6-syllable summary, which we're going to silently and mentally recite during our inhalation. During our exhalation, we're going to physically relax as best we can while striving to chant this 12-syllable mantra 4 times per breath. Om Mani Mani Ma Mani Yesuwa 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 Please touch the tip of your left thumb to the tip of your left middle finger, and then rest this left hand upon your left knee. That our real or imagined subtle energies may be gently invited to coalesce at the heart region of our chest. All Manzu said yet has what is a real or imagined seed moon of light. One moment, if you please. Oh, well, I'm going to have to do an edit. Please bear with me. There may be a shortcut. Let's see if I can finagle something. Okay, good. Okay, that'll work. All my succeeded what is a real or imagined eternal light could be as permanent and interdependent as if they could blissfully melt into the rainbow light they could delightfully absorb into our vast empty void. Like the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful cloudless morn, which, although tantalizing to the eye, could be not graspable to the hand. All right, let's go to home. Let's go to home. One, two, three, four, five. Okay, let's go over here. Copy. Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa. 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 Okay, thanks for joining. Let's meditate. Quick review. Every time we silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during our inhalation, our sympathetic nervous system helps us to vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly notice mind's antics. This is called mindfulness. Every time we silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease during our exhalation, our parasympathetic nervous system helps us to physically relax and mentally release whatever it is that we noticed during our previous inhalation. This is known as meditation. Together, let's practice together right now. Now it's time for Maha Yoga's compassionate cool down, also known as mantra-oriented loving kindness. Alright. May whole minds of all beings now be as peacefully enlightened as the mind of a real or imagined Buddhist, paralyzed by a declay one subtle seed or bija mantra. Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa 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 Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesawa, Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesawa, Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesawa, Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesawa. Mm. May all relationships, all speech of all beings know me as joyfully loving as a real or imagined Buddha speech symbolized by your multisyllabic mantra. So what we just did is we chanted this. I'm not sure if you were here when we did that, so let's do this right now. May all relationships, all speech of all beings know be as joyfully loving as a May all relationships, communication, or speech of all beings know be as joyfully loving as a real or imagined Buddha speech symbolized by a multisyllabic mantra. So now we're going to silently and mentally recite a 6-syllable synopsis of that which we just chanted. One moment, if you please. During our inhalation, we can silently and mentally recite the synopsis again. During our exhalation, we can do two things. Physically relax as best we can, while silently let's try this again. Physically relax as best we can while striving to chant the 12-syllable mantra 4 times per breath. Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa, Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa, Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa, Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa. Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa, Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa, Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa, Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa. Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa, Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa, Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa, Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa. Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa, Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa, Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa, Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa. One moment please. Let's see, this is page 75, so I'm going to do the old cut and paste. Or at least I'm going to try to. All right, so here's the deal. Here's the review of mindfulness. Every time we silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during our inhalation, our sympathetic nervous system helps us to vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly notice mind's antics. Now let's review meditation. Every time we silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease during our exhalation, our parasympathetic nervous system helps us to physically relax and mentally release whatever it is that we noticed during our previous inhalation. So together as a team, let us play with this exercise right now. So we're going to work with our left ring finger right now, touching it to the, let's try this. We're going to rest, come on, there we go. We're going to rest the great knuckle at the base of our right ring finger upon the tip of our left ring finger, palms up in our lap. Doing so could gently invite our real or imagined subtle energies to coalesce in the navel region of our mid-abdomen. Oh boy, come on, coordination, don't fail me now. All right, so we're now going to, we're not working magic right now, we're not praying, we're just using words to exercise our own neurological capacity for empathy and love. May all bodies or forms of all beings know and enjoy the beautiful health represented by Buddha's statuary, depicting the blissful body of a real or imagined Yadam archetype of enlightenment such as Shakyamuni. We now take all these words and now silently and mentally recite their 6-syllable synopsis. Okay, so what we're going to do now is silently and mentally recite the 6-syllable synopsis during our inhalation. During our exhalation, we're going to do 2 things. We're going to physically relax as best we can while striving to chant this 12-syllable mantra 4 times per breath. Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa, 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 Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, here we go. Let's hit copy. And paste. All right. May all circumstances or lots of all beings know have their safety and good fortune open. As a Buddha's real or imagined paradise per land of Avanti. Om Mani 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 Eswa 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 Om Mani 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 Eswa. Well, let's go over here real quick and hit paste. Don't think that's going to work the way I want it to. All right, here we go. You have taken your first step into a much larger world. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. In approximately 10.5 hours, I would very much like to return to lead today's dusk meditation class and group practice. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.